Hey, everybody. I want to welcome you to a new episode of the Mattymo Podcast, the first episode of 2024. And I hope you all had a great holiday. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Montreal Tundra on their first win in the BSL, the Basketball Super League. Not the first win in their franchise history, but in the new league. And also a shout out to Juan Mendez for the job he's doing with this team. We've been averaging attendance of 2,000 this weekend. And also, I want to give a shout out to the president, Dave Margley, and his wife for doing a great job running the Basketball Super League. And I see a lot of success coming out of it. Anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about my guest. So my guest, he's a former professional hockey player, played in the American Hockey League, Quebec Major Junior, played in the Memorial Cup, and also in the Butcher League, the League North American to Hockey. I want to introduce you all to my guest, Harold Hersh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you, Mattymo?
It's good. It's good. So how was your holidays? Spending good time with the family?
Yeah, it was great. We spent some time up at the cottage. The
Nice.
weather was so-so, but it was good. We got to skate on the lake and got to hang out and enjoy the quiet time.
That's amazing. So I want to start off what got you into hockey? Like what made you want to play?
Yeah, so I guess when I was 4 years old, like any kid growing up in Montreal or Canada, I guess it's just a thing to do come hockey season. Your parents strap on the skates and you go out there and just start skating.
Yeah, same with me. When I started, it was my brother who started playing, and then I'm like, I want to play. And then I was fast, but it was the penalties that were the problem and my laziness. We
No,
all,
I remember, Matty Mo, I remember you when you were a little kid, when your brother was playing and you had that hockey stick in your hand,
oh,
walking around the second Civic Center, wherever you went, you had a
yeah.
hockey stick in your hand.
Always had the hockey stick and the ball. I did break two glass doors in ring two. I did break those once after a game by smashing my stick through it, and once taking a puck, shooting at the glass door.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm like probably the first one and last one to do that. But anyways, so you started playing like your career basically midget AAA. You played for Laval, Laurentian. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I played my midget AAA there, had a fun season. It was really good. Got to play on a team with Sebastian Bordelot, Alexandre Daigle. Our goalie was Jocelyn Thibault. So we had obviously a very good team. And from there, I was drafted to Hull in the Quebec Major Junior League, and then ended up playing there for 4 years.
And like, how is it like playing in Hull? And you also went to Memorial Cup with that team.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the most special points in my career, or for sure the best point of my junior career, maybe if not my whole hockey career, was um so it was my overage year. We were in the finals against Laval, and I scored the overtime game-winning goal in Laval in front of my family in the House of Pain. I know you know that place very well.
There
Uh,
Friday.
yeah. So actually, your dad might have even been at that game,
Really?
and I'm not sure. We'd have to ask him. So so I ended up scoring that to finish off my junior career and go to the Memorial Cup.
And who were you playing against? Like, which players in Laval?
So
Are
Laval, the
you?
big names were Yannick Dubé,
Uh,
Charpentier was their goalie. They had at the time was Sandy McCarthy still there, was one of their tough guys. They had Jim Birmingham. They had a pretty stacked team as well.
okay. And then after that, you went to the IHL Detroit Vipers and probably in the ECHL, one of the most famous talents in slapshot, Johnstown. That was Charlestown movie, the Johnstown Chiefs. Who was your coach on that team?
So my coach was Nicky Fatillo,
Oh,
and so he ended up coaching a little bit with San Jose, and now he played for the New York Rangers. He was the first original New York player to ever play for the Rangers.
Oh,
So he was a fighter for the Rangers and like in the Broad Street bully days. So he had
yeah.
some crazy stories for us. And the assistant coach at the time was Scotty Allen, who I still keep in touch with now because he's assistant coach for the Washington Capitals. So I'm lucky enough when they're in town, I get to bring my boys to see the pregame skates and see all the players.
Cool. How was it like playing in that barn where they filmed Slap Shot and like staying in the town?
Yeah, so it's very cool. So like you see some of the big trademarks of the town, the dog, the arena. Actually, one of the Carlson brothers was still always around because he ran the arena pro shop, or he ran it, he owned it. So he was always like bouncing around and stuff. So it was cool to see him. And yeah, it's definitely very cool. Like in the arena, they had the organ still. So
Oh,
it was very cool.
yeah, and also like was it ECHL like when you played like there I know it's a difference caliber from ECHL to IHL, AHL. Like I want to know the difference of the AHL and the IHL, like the caliber of hockey.
So I would say the IHL had a lot more ex-NHL guys. So like when I was in Detroit, I played with like a Jimmy Carson who scored 50 goals in the NHL and a lot of those guys where the AHL is a lot more of the up and coming players.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the big difference is that the AHL is a lot younger than the IHL.
And now the AHL is like the league for development that's always affiliated with a NHL team.
Yeah.
So also you played for Kentucky, I think Tough Blades,
Yeah. Thoroughblades. Yeah.
the famous Hershey Bears that I
Yeah.
had the privilege to see last year. And I'll tell you, I loved it. Like the fans are amazing, they're nice. The Giant Center, it's unbelievable where they play. Always
Yeah.
sold out mostly.
Yeah, Hershey Park is a very cool place, very special place. I was only there for I think 5 games in Hershey.
Yeah,
I got called up there while I was playing in Pensacola in
yeah.
Florida. But it was nevertheless it was very cool. But when we would play against the Hershey Bears, like a little fun fact was we used to always get hot chocolate and
Uh,
chocolate bars in the room from the
nice.
Hershey factory.
I remember when I was in Hershey last year, that's one of the places where I got COVID actually on my birthday trip.
Not good memory.
My, my dad did not get it. Steve did not get it for some reason. And
Okay,
he
so
was sitting
that's
next to
good.
me in the car. He never got COVID. But
Great.
anyways, like I wanted to see the old arena that the Bears used to play in,
Yeah,
but we didn't have time for that. We went outlet shopping. Like usually I travel with the Laval Rocket, and now I'm gonna start traveling with this new basketball team. Some games on the road with my girlfriend. But yeah. So
great.
basically you played in Pensacola. How was it like playing there, like weather-wise? You know, it's Florida, but is it like the hot Florida or like it gets cold?
So it gets cold in the sense where like you can wear a light jacket,
Okay.
but it's definitely, completely different to playing in Johnstown, right? Like we're
Yeah.
living on the beach every day. You drive over the ocean. Sometimes you'll see dolphins and stuff.
Uh,
So it's a really amazing dynamic in that sense of not having to have the frigid cold and going to the rink and then good part of the season you are actually able to play golf, so that was a nice
yeah.
part we had.
Now, what about you also played in the UHL for Quad City?
Yeah,
How was like that league compared to all the other leagues?
so I would say the UHL is a little bit comparable to the East Coast, like when it was like the AHL and the IHL, where the UHL was more a little bit older than the East Coast. So the East Coast, because it was a feeder system to the AHL, tended to have a lot much more younger players, where the UHL would have a little bit of some older players. But Quad City was a very special team there. We actually broke when I was playing, we broke a professional hockey record where we were the first professional hockey franchise to win 50 games in a like not 50 games in a row, 50 games in a season, 5 consecutive seasons. So
Oh,
there So that was a big record. And actually, my first year there, we ended up winning the championship. So that was a totally amazing experience. The fans were awesome. Sellout crowds of, I think it was like nine or close to 10,000 fans. So it was a lot of fun.
What about the Mohawk Ice Prowers? Like, where was that located?
So that was in Utica, so
Mohawk.
upstate
Oh,
New York. So I believe they have a team
yeah,
now.
they do. The
Yeah.
Utah Devils. I go see them play sometime when Laval's there. I love that arena.
Yeah, nice tight arena.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, great experience as well. I didn't stay there for too long because I ended up getting called up to Lowell while I was there. And then while I was there, I ended up getting traded to Quad City.
Oh.
So it was fun while I was there.
What about you played Portland Pirates? How was that like, the city of Portland?
Yeah, so same thing. Portland was a small stint, but still very cool experience. Uh, playing there, there I remember going for a walk around. Like it was a very cool city. So it was a lot of fun and some great memories from there as well.
And that's what I love about going see road games in the AHL. Like you're not just stuck in the same area. You get these towns, get see their lifestyle, and it's a fun life to like travel, like watch games in these small towns. And like people think I just go for hockey. I don't. I do other things as well. Shopping, going around say like when I'm in Providence, I'll go to Boston for a day, Lehigh Valley, go to Philly for a day. Uh yeah, even Springfield 2 years ago in the playoffs for Laval, we were in the East Conference Finals. We had a day off. I went to Boston, with my mom for the day,
So cool.
and saw a baseball game also, but not the Red Sox, the Worcester Wool Sox or Red
Okay,
Sox AAA ball, not a minor league ball.
that's great.
Yeah, and also you played in Rockford. Rockford, I've been to before. Also, I saw a game there.
Yeah. Yeah, so Rockford was fun. Another smaller town, but great town. People were super nice. Um, the fans, I think now they're Rockford is in the AHL now, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Played there.
yeah. So it was cool. It was good. It was just another city that, I only played a half a season there because I got traded from Quad City to Rockford. And then that was the year after that that I ended up going to Europe for a year.
Yeah, and in Europe, you played in Germany, Division 3, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
How is that hockey compared to like hockey North America?
So it was my first time like really playing on the big ice, but it's funny, like the Europeans are so good at cutting the ice down. So you don't really feel like the ice is that big anymore. But it's really cool. The lifestyle is amazing because like your schedule is set where like you practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes on Saturdays. Your games are always Fridays and Sundays, and every Monday you have off. So it
That's
was
amazing.
so it was nice to have like a good fixed schedule, smaller city, like so it was great. It was fun. Like, and then when we had weekends off, it's you hop on a train and you go to Italy, you hop on a quick flight, you go to Paris. So like all these like small trips that you're doing here where it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive,
Yeah,
you could be in different countries all over the place. So it's really a very, very cool experience.
yeah, that's how small Europe is. Like you could go from Paris to Italy in like almost a day.
Yeah, yeah, it's very cool.
And like the flights, I guess they're cheap in Europe usually.
Yeah, I forget like what we paid when we went. We flew to Paris once. I feel like it was super, super cheap. And then I went to Italy. We did a weekend in Italy that we drove. We drove to Czech Republic. We drove to Amsterdam.
Oh,
So it was very cool. Very cool experience.
and now my favorite part, the Native American hockey. Like one the league I watch, well, I watch him sometimes when Laval's not playing or I can't go to a road game. But how about you tell us about that league?
So the league was very, very competitive. Obviously, back in the day when I played in it, you really, I guess, had 2 to 2.5 lines of like players and then a line to a line and a half of fighters. And but it's like some of the fighters could still play,
Yeah.
but like the fighters were like tough guys, you know,
Oh
and
yeah.
I would say for the most part, you know, they would only fight themselves, but there's some a few loose cannons that when you're on the ice, you never know. You got to kind of watch your back.
Yeah.
So the league itself, the hockey was great. It was intense. It was a very good league. I just feel that, you know, I was thankful after every game that I had all my teeth and I was able
Yeah.
to go to work the next day.
Yeah. And you won a championship with Sherbrooke St. Francois Saints, I believe they're called.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
So
that place.
yeah, so that was a great arena. That team was amazing. Our coach, Paul Bizanet, this guy, he was amazing and the guys just worked really hard together. So it was good. It was good. And I got to finish off on a high in my career there. That was really the last time I played winning the championship there.
Uh, so basically, like, there's a saying you told me once, but 8 o'clock puck drops, 8:05 gloves are off.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's 801.
That's what I told my friend Sean McMorrow. Shout out to Sean. He played in that league, led the league in fights in a single season with 86, I believe. And you can watch his podcast, the Share Podcast with Sean McMorrow. But yeah, the saying I told him, 8 o'clock puck drops, 8:01 gloves are off.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know.
It would take like 10 to 15 minutes to play the first 30
Yeah.
seconds or the first 10 seconds of a game with all the fights.
I remember also there used to be fights in the warm up.
Oh yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh, tons of
It
brawls.
was yeah, that it was a dangerous league.
Trust me, like my grandpa, he calls it the Butcher League. Because of the fight, especially when they had the Verdun Dragons, the Laval Chiefs.
Yeah.
Played I remember Hell's Angels used to go to the games and like
Yeah.
and used to dress guys like boxers, don't know how to skate, but are just there to fight.
Yeah.
Use like their stick to balance.
Yeah.
When I see it. Yeah, I went to a game actually Friday to call Petrier at Laval. They're
Yeah.
playing Rivière de Loup 3L, and they had my buddy Chris Coutier, he was playing in the game. He had two fights. One fight was like, stage fight. The other one was like because the guy did something, so he wanted to fight the guy. But the crowds are amazing in that league.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's nice. I find it's exciting hockey. There's, you know, I don't think there's as much fighting as there used to be, but the players are very good, very skilled players. So I don't know. Hopefully, I'll go to a game with you there
Yeah.
one
So who was your favorite fighter to watch in that league when you played?
Oof. So I never played with them, but obviously, you know, seeing Morasti and Bosti, like seeing those highlight fights, like those guys were machines. Like I don't know how they could ever do it and keep doing it and keep doing it. So I would say those are some really tough guys.
Yeah, I also I had Morasti on my show before. Really nice guy. Have to get the bossy. Like I have to get him on because
Yeah.
I want to hear some stories from him as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing. That guy's got a great track record and
Yeah.
being in the UFC and stuff. So it's very, very cool.
And what about Joel Terrio, the animal?
Yeah. So I never really met him or played with him anywhere, but like supposedly great guy off the ice. And then once he's on the ice, it's like stay away from him. So he's
Yeah.
like one player that it's just like you don't want to get in his way.
He's a great guy. I'm friends with him on Facebook through Gary Deck, and he's a really good guy, Joel. I'm trying to get him on my show one day
Yeah.
because, like, yeah, he's the. This is what I say. That I find the fighters are the nicest guys off the ice because
Yeah.
on the ice they're just doing their job. And, like they're in their zone. That's why they get pissed a lot. But off the ice, they're the nicest guys. They won't even hurt a fly.
Yeah. Totally.
Like if the fan wants a photo with them, they'll go out of their way to get the photo with the fan.
For sure.
Now, like Have you ever been to a semi-pro game ever since you retired?
Uh, Good question. I I don't recall going.
I know you've been to Laval before, AHL,
Yeah,
so Rockets.
yeah. So I've been to some Rockets games. I went to go watch Boisbriand play. Where else did I just
Oh,
went
dude,
to
Lions.
yeah, I was just at the I went to go watch a couple of periods of the Lions yesterday.
Yeah, now my friend, he's their equipment manager, Max Melnick. Give a shout out to him. He started off their DJ, now he's their equipment manager.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good. Like that's where I find mid AAA is where you start your career for every kid. So
Yeah,
you make it or you don't.
yeah,
That's like basically, I don't know if it's the measuring stick, but I really don't know because you got all these leagues now that's taking over school leagues, Mitch Espoir. Like kids don't want to pay 10 grand to play Mitch AAA
yeah,
or 18 AAA now, we have to say.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So tell me, how was it like watching the Rocket and you used to play in the American Hockey League? Like, do you still miss the game when you watch it?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So it's like, especially now where I am in my life, I tell my kids all the time that I wish I was still playing now, that my kids could be able to come watch me play. But it's great. Like the Laval Rockets have an amazing thing going. It's
Yeah.
nice to see it, fortunately, unfortunately for the big team, but it's nice to see that a lot of the players have been getting called up and getting a chance to go up and play. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's great. The facility is awesome. So it's cool.
And like we're now third in attendance in the league with like close to 8,900, I believe, or 8,800. Like I remember from the start, we weren't drawing much. And now, ever since we had that playoff run, we're selling out every game almost. And
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I
And
love it.
they do a good show. They put on a good show
Yeah. Even though it's the minor league, it's still fun hockey and it's affordable for kids or families that can't afford to go see the big guys play.
for sure.
The AHL or the Petrier de Nord or the Armada.
Yeah. I actually want to go. I went a couple of years ago to watch university hockey to see Concordia play.
Yeah,
And that's really good too. So that I'm going to be taking. I coach or I'm one of like the assistant coaches for my son's team. So we're
yeah.
going to arrange to bring the whole team there and watch a game.
And that's amazing. That's like right around the corner from my house.
Yeah,
Like, yeah. I know what also I like watching junior A hockey, but not the Quebec Junior AAA, like the CCHL, the
yeah,
OGHL. I like watching that type.
yeah, yeah. They're good. They're great teams, and those guys are all aspiring to go to somewhere in a D1 school
Yeah,
scholarship and that. So it's fun. Like you will see the odd player who will be moving up.
exactly. Like I probably saw players that played in the NHL today that I never knew I saw.
Yeah.
Nicholas Deloria, I saw him play in the queue. I didn't recognize him in the queue. My dad recognized him.
Okay.
He played for Laval. Also, but my favorite place to go in the AHL, like obviously, I think is Rochester. Great history there for the Amerks. Like the fans are amazing. You know, I think they're amazing everywhere.
Yeah.
Rochester just has that special place in my heart.
Okay. That's cool.
Not because they had a player named Steve Moses, same as my dad's name.
Yeah.
We got a photo with him. We did.
Yeah, I remember that. Didn't you get his jersey too?
Yeah, I got it from this store. Like basically, my dad emailed Tina, my mom did. And then the day of, we left to Rochester. They're like, after he gave me this in the hallway, Steve Moses really wants to meet you. And he
Very
found it
cool.
kind of funny that he met someone with the same first and last name as him.
Yeah.
And I finally got to see him play. Now, I only found out like maybe 5 days before that trip that he was on the team, like out of the blue. He
Yeah.
played on the line in preseason with O'Reilly and Jack Eichel. It was amazing.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna cut this short. By the way, it was great having you on my show.
Thank you. It's great to be on here.
Well, anytime you want to come on again, you're more than welcome to.
All right, for sure.
So I want to thank all my fans for watching this first episode, 2024. There's gonna be many more episodes coming up. If I take a break in between some of the weeks, it's because I have something on a Sunday night. Try to push it to a Monday. Anyways, I hope you have a great night, Harold.
Thank you. Same to you, buddy.
Thanks, and have a great week. And yeah, all of you keep watching my show. And also subscribe to my show and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and my podcasts on Sports with Mattymo Podcast. Anyways, I hope you have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.